In the heart of the 17th century lived a young man named Robinson Crusoe. He yearned for a life of adventure, a life far from the quiet streets of his hometown in England. Against his family's wishes, he set sail, his heart filled with dreams of the open sea. But the ocean, vast and unpredictable, had other plans. A monstrous storm rose from the depths, a tempest of furious wind and towering waves. The ship, once a sturdy vessel, was tossed and torn apart by the sea's relentless power. Amidst the chaos, Crusoe clung to a piece of wreckage, the lone survivor of the shipwreck. The currents carried him through the churning waters until, exhausted and battered, he washed ashore on what seemed to be a deserted island. As the sun rose, it revealed a land untouched by man, a vibrant paradise of lush jungles and pristine beaches. But for Crusoe, it was a prison. Alone, with no sign of rescue, a profound sense of despair washed over him. How could he possibly survive in this wild, untamed world? Determined not to give in to hopelessness, Crusoe salvaged what he could from the wrecked ship. Tools, supplies, and a few precious books became the foundation of his new life. He built a simple shelter, a fortress against the unknown dangers of the island. He learned to hunt with a makeshift spear, to fish with nets woven from vines, and to forage for edible plants. He even managed to grow barley and rice from a few grains he found in a tattered bag. Slowly, painstakingly, he carved a life out of the wilderness. To keep track of time and maintain his sanity, he made a large wooden cross. Each day he would carve a notch into it, a silent testament to his survival. Years passed. The solitude was a heavy burden, a constant companion that gnawed at his spirit. He tamed a wild parrot, teaching it to speak, just to hear the sound of another voice, even if it was only an echo of his own. He named the parrot Pole, and it became his confidant in the lonely silence. One day, everything changed. While exploring a different part of the island, Crusoe stumbled upon a shocking sight, a single human footprint in the sand. It wasn't his. Fear and excitement surged through him. He was not alone. Later, he discovered that a tribe of cannibals visited the island to perform their grim rituals. Hidden, he watched in horror as they prepared to sacrifice to captives. Mustering all his courage, Crusoe intervened. He managed to save one of the captives, a young man who was about to meet a terrible fate. The grateful man pledged his loyalty to Crusoe. Since they met on a Friday, Crusoe named him Friday. Friday was a quick learner, and a deep bond of friendship formed between the two men. Crusoe taught him English, and Friday shared his knowledge of the island's secrets. For the first time in decades, Crusoe had a true companion. Together, they built a more substantial home, cultivated larger fields, and even raised a herd of wild goats. They fortified their small settlement, always wary of the cannibals' return. Life was still hard, but it was no longer a solitary struggle. The island had transformed from a place of despair into a home filled with shared work and companionship. Then, After 28 long years, a ship appeared on the horizon. It was an English ship, but its crew had mutinied. Crusoe and Friday, using their knowledge of the island and their combined wits, helped the captain regain control of his vessel. As a reward, the grateful captain offered them passage back to England. Leaving the island was bittersweet. It had been his prison and his sanctuary, the place where he had been tested and had endured. He said goodbye to the home he had built with his own hands, to the parrots and the goats. As he sailed away with Friday by his side, Robinson Crusoe looked back at the shore, a man completely transformed. He had left England as a boy chasing adventure and was returning as a man who had found the true meaning of resilience, ingenuity, and the profound value of human connection. His greatest adventure wasn't just surviving the island, but discovering himself,